Hey guys, how we doing? Cam Mayville here of Rug Wash Pros, yes, the home of the Rug Rescue Podcast. As you notice, there's nobody up in the left or right hand corner tonight. That's because Mr. Paul Lucas has been in the hospital. He's fine, he's good. He just decided to go burn his feet, got a little infection, and had to chop off a pinky toe. So now we have renamed him, and we'll just call him Paul Lucas. Hey, let's go with something like Paul Nine Toes Lucas. I think that sounds pretty good, but that's what we're going to go with. But the good news is Paul's okay. He'll be back at it and be back on the wash floor with me here really, really soon. And of course, we'll be at it cleaning rugs. But I want to say thanks to everyone for the support. We've been having really good turnout, and people are checking the show out. It's growing all the time. We're trying to, constantly do a podcast to have it ready to go for a following week for you guys. Also, thanks to everyone who supports us on the Rug Room Live on Wednesday nights. We have a blast doing that show. We really do. We've been going on 10 years now. It's been a long time we've been doing it. And we really feel like we can make a difference for people. It feels good when you're done with the show and then you get a call that it went pretty well and they were happy with it and somebody learned something, because that's the whole thing. Making the industry better, learning a little something, help people get from point A to point B. And that's kind of what leads to this podcast today. I want to talk with this one. And this one is basically a call that I actually get quite a bit. I probably get this call, 3-4 times a month, maybe a little more. And that is, Cam, when do I buy a spinner? When do I buy that centrifuge? And, there's kind of a different answer for some different people, obviously. But when I hear that question, sometimes everyone wants to jump into the Rug Room right away and say, oh, I've got a spinner. I'll sell you. I've got one. I've done the same thing where I jump in and go, hey, I offer a spinner. But really, to start off with, the question should be to the person asking about a spinner. Shouldn't we be asking them questions first as a salesperson, as an equipment, salesperson? Shouldn't we be finding out a little bit more of how their company is, where it's at, how it's running? Because the reason I say that is because when I first started, frankly, I was misled on a lot of things. And look, having a spinner is unbelievable, folks. It's great. I'm not going to argue it. It is a game changer. It's not the absolute first thing I tell somebody they have to have, but it is a major deal. It really does make you a better rug cleaner. That is true. Now, I also believe that if you want to be a great rug cleaner, you have to start without a spinner. You really need to understand the basics. You really need to know how to take a brush and a bucket and good chemistry and do a great job. That is something you have to understand the principles. But when that spinner comes along, especially as you get more rugs, it is a game changer and it does make a huge difference. So, but here's the first question I like to ask. When someone says, Cam, should I buy a spinner? Well, how many rugs are you cleaning right now? Not just right this minute. How many rugs are you consistently cleaning every month for, let's say, the last 6 months, maybe even a year? Do you have a consistent flow of rugs? Because a flow of rugs means a flow of cash, okay? And we need money coming in. That is a huge thing, because I will get calls and sometimes they're only cleaning 10 rugs a month. Well, if you're only cleaning 10 rugs a month, and let's say, 5 of those are tufted, which, you all know, when we first start out, what do we mostly clean? Well, we get a lot of machine made, a lot of tufted rugs. Well, if 5 of them are, tufted, no urine, well, we can air dust those and we can do a surface clean, if you want to call it that. Clean it with your portable, might be able to clean with LST and a light bonnet or something. There's options. That's always important, being the expert in all methods. Well, now you're down to 5 other rugs, okay? Well, then you figure a couple of the other machine maids, you can probably do a surface clean too. So what if you're only doing, 3 that have to be submerged? One of them may only have urine. So when you look at that number, do you necessarily need it right now? I'm from the camp, I believe, I want to look at it and go, how can I get you from that 10 rugs and take you from that 10 and bump you up to 40? To me, 40 is the magic number, because in my mind, I believe 40 rugs per month can produce you $90,000 to $130,000 a year easily. I truly believe that. If you've been trained right, you're getting the right education, you can produce that much. with no issue. I really truly believe that. And I believe that number 40 also is a number that when you buy a spinner, even if you're doing a monthly payment, I don't care if it's a Turkish, Polish, American made, I don't care if it's a $70,000 spinner. And I think there might be one out there. I don't know. It ain't for me. But, you can make that payment every month because it's only a couple of rugs. A pad sale here, protect it here. If you're producing, you can pay for it. And you're making that money back just in labor alone that you're saving. That amount of time that you save is incredible. But now look, if you're rich and you've got a ton of money and you jump into business and everything is just golden for you, and you can afford to go spend $30,000 to $50,000 on a spinner, jump on it. Turkish, you're going to spend probably 27 to 34, somewhere in there, depending on what kind you get. Because the prices on those have gone up, way up. American made, we're still at 46.5 for our spinner. But that's not a big payment. It really isn't. I mean, you don't hesitate to go buy a truck mount when you need it, or a new portable, or whatever you may use in your business, or a new vehicle to get from point A to point B, because it makes you money. Well, when you get to that 40 rugs per month, you're there. You are good to go. I truly believe that. And it's making what you need to make. Now, I always come back to, so let's go back to the beginning of that, when that question is first asked to me. I'm asking, how many rugs are you getting a month? And then when I find out that number, I'm going, okay, how do we change that? And then I start looking at, maybe we don't put that money into the spinner yet. It doesn't really quite make sense. Why wouldn't we be looking at getting the rugs to flow first? And we could get into talking about branding, but that's not for this podcast. So I don't want to go down that road right now. We'll come back down there, at another time and we'll discuss that. But we can look at maybe a better website. Are we intermingling? Are we taking, trying to get, a new rug page or something on our website, and we're doing it that way? Are we just getting rugs from our carpet cleaning clients? Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, and it's not everybody. Some people can do it and they've done really well. My buddy John Watusik up in Albany does phenomenal. His isn't broken apart. And he does absolutely great. He kicks ass up there. Wonderful cleaner, good friend of mine, great guy. But for some people, it just doesn't go that smooth. So you have to start thinking, okay, do I need to separate a website? Because I went down the road, folks. When I first started, I got, everybody telling me this and that. I put just a page on my carpet cleaning website. And I thought to myself, oh man, this is going to be huge. The rugs are going to pour in. Guess what? Nothing came in. Zero. Nothing at all. It bombed so bad. And it wasn't because the person who did the website for me at that time didn't do a good job. They did a great job. There was nothing wrong with what they did. But nobody trusted me. Nobody knew me. I was approaching it as a carpet cleaner. So I was getting nowhere. A lot of people can get 10, 15, 20 rugs a month, and then they hit a wall, smack right into it. Me, I couldn't even get damn freaking one. It drove me crazy because I couldn't really figure out why. So a lot of times when people ask me about that spinner, I want to dig into that first. And some people may not want to hear that. They just go, Cam's crazy. I don't want to hear this crap. And they're going to move on and they're going to buy a price spinner for someone else. But I can't just say, yeah, do it. Here's the price. To me, that's just not right. I want to lay it out to them. And, of course, there's always questions too. If they know what they want already, some people want to buy it all and start from scratch and go after it. And God bless them. Some of them do it and they kick butt and they just achieve whatever they want. I know a few people like that. I've helped a few people like that. And they've done wonderful. I think a Peace Frog come in and buys everything and just is crushing. Got great employees. Matt's a wonderful guy and he just does great. But not everybody is from that camp, and a very few are. Okay. So you've got to dial back and go, well, how do we do this? And it all starts, in my opinion, with a little bit of separation of some kind. You can still maybe use a company name and have another, like let's say Anderson Cleaning. Well, maybe now you've got Anderson Rug Cleaning and Repair. There's a variety of ways you can do this. And then you set that website up specifically for your rug business. Now you're finding a way to get more rugs in. And look, there's a lot to it. I mean, it's a whole nother conversation that we can get into. Matter of fact, you guys are going to see something coming down the pipe here really soon. And you're going to see this interview that I do with Lynn Tall. And when you see it, I've done one with her on this podcast before. We've talked about some things, but this is a totally different ball game. It'll be coming out soon. Watch for that. But you've got to figure that out. I don't want to see people spend money on something and it not produce. And because it's just going to be sitting there. We've got to get the rugs in first for you. So I want you to think about that before you run out and buy a piece of equipment. Drying racks, a lot of drying racks you can buy on your own. You can flat dry for a while. There's a lot of used equipment out there. Every now and then I see an Orbitech rack pop up in my group, and people will jump on it fairly quick. Some good pricing every now and then. There's specials that we run. So, that's one thing that you got to look at, and which way do you go? Because, if you're a really good cleaner and you get your craft down, a great cleaner doesn't have to have a spinner. Now it takes them longer, yes. But I know of some cleaners that are phenomenal cleaners. They don't have a spinner. And they are really good. And they don't have a lot of touch-up time. They've gotten so good at it. And I'm not talking, not all of them are using rug suckers. Some do, some don't, some drip dry. There's a variety of ways, and they do phenomenal job. So I just want to tell people, look, don't just jump on that bandwagon right away. Think about where you're at and where you're going. And, and start putting a plan together. And I'll even work with you on this. I don't care if you buy the spinner from me or not. You call me up, I'll spend time with you on the phone. We'll discuss it. And I will do my best to help you look at other angles and other ways. I have a list of, you can get on my coaching program. I charge $199 a month. That's it. It's cheap. And we meet every week. We go over everything. We find, how can we get this coaching program going? How can we get to where you need to be? And we get into that coaching program. We start going through things, and we have a goal to make you successful. And then, like with me, when I started, I set a number. And a lot of people know the story. If you've been in the rug room, I've talked about it with many people. My story is, I set it at $100,000. And so when I hit 100 grand, then I will buy a spinner. And guess what, folks? It was about 40 rugs per month, and we crushed the number, and we went out and bought one. And it made us money. It allowed me to grow. It also allowed me to do things like marketing. Now that I had a spinner, which this will happen to you, anybody who buys one, your confidence changes. Not because you can spin a rug, no, it's because you've got a piece of equipment in there that you can talk about. You feel like you're like the rest of everybody else out there cleaning rugs, okay, I've achieved this status type thing. And frankly, you might be a better cleaner than the guy with a spinner when you didn't have one. But now you have it. You can do videos, and you can do videos without one, but it's just a mindset, and it does change things. And when that happens, guess what? You tend to grow your business even more. So there's a lot of things that come with it. It's not just about buying a piece of equipment. It really isn't. It's about running your business. It's about growing. It's about setting goals, about achieving what you really, really want. And I'm going to tell you guys and gals, everyone out there, if you want it, you can get it. The only person, in my opinion, that's going to stop you is you. Now, how big will you get? How successful will you exactly be? There's a lot of factors that come into that. But I believe it can be done. 10 rugs a week, folks. That's not that many. And if you really have your systems in place and really know how to talk to rug customers and how to be different than that carpet clean mentality, throw it out the door, you will get to where you want. You'll get your centrifuge. You will have a nice shiny spinner that you're so proud of. You'll be dancing jigs around it, and things will work out great. Guys, it was great to have you here. I really appreciate it. This is another podcast from Rug Wash Pros, the home of rug rescue. I really appreciate this, and we'll have another one coming for you very, very, very soon. So Again, thanks to my buddy Paul Lucas. I know he's going to be ready to rock and roll Wednesday night for the Rug Room Live. And Paul, we hope you heal up quick, buddy. So to everyone else, thanks again. Appreciate your support. Take care. Keep it clean.